Mom, I'm telling Tony.
Hey. Hey.
Hey yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Tony.
And I'm Destiny.
Welcome to the very first episode of The Link Up, where we stay plugged into purpose
and passion.
This podcast is all about real conversations, love, life, relationships, and everything in between. No filters, no fluff, just truth, growth, and good energy.
We're coming to you as a married couple. We have a lot ahead of us. We have a lot of different episodes coming and a lot of great topics for y'all.
In this first episode, we're going to give y'all the real about how we met, everything we've been through, how we've gotten to where we are now, how married life is, how the early life was, and and at the end of it, we just ended up coming out together.
Whether you're single or in a relationship, we have everything that y'all would like to hear from us. Ideas, questions, answers, everything that you need.
Today, being our first episode, we're going to kind of put the background about what the podcast is going to be about. This podcast is going to be directed to married couples, people that have been in relationships for a while, people that are just getting started in relationships, people who are thinking about getting married, and plenty more of things that we're going to cover on this podcast. And we're real happy to share our ideas, questions, and answers with our entire audience today.
This is The Link Up. Let's get into it.
What's one struggle that you both had to overcome together?
I would say trust in each other. The reason why I say trust is because, we both struggle with things in our past, people in our past, different situations, and it made it hard for us to trust each other. We struggled with that a lot in the beginning. We had to realize that, those people and those, situationships weren't us. It didn't define us. So we had to grow into trusting each other.
For me, it's definitely expressing ourselves to each other because, just like how she's saying, past relationships and past things that have happened, makes it hard to say what you want to say to your partner regardless of what they're showing you because of what a other person could have done or, taken advantage of you expressing your feelings, especially, obviously in both, but especially as a man, express your feelings to just any type of female.
Yeah.
A lot of times they tend to use it against you and make it backfire, make you seem like you're a punk and stuff like that. So it was definitely the expressing my feelings and learning that it's okay to talk about things and talk things out when stuff gets hard and when you have a disagreement about stuff. So that's probably my hardest thing.
Has there been any outside opinions
Yes.
about you guys' relationship?
Yes.
Has that affected you guys' relationship?
Yes, I would say more on my side. Some of my family members and some of my friends, it definitely affected the relationship in the beginning because, I'm a people pleaser. So I was going off of what people were saying, instead of going off of, hey, this is who I love. This is my man, It's not my fault that, y'all, didn't find what y'all found. But, I used to let those outside opinions get the best of me in our relationship. So I had to learn how to not let those outside opinions affect our relationship. So I've definitely grown from that a lot. I definitely have grown from that a lot.
I mean, yeah. Like I said, I think the biggest thing was a lot of people, like I said, when you love somebody, it doesn't matter how fast you get into this or that or because everybody, and I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people tried to say that we got married way too fast. And look at us. We've been married a month and a couple of days and, we about to move. So, I don't think, like I said it in my vows, when you know.
A lot of accomplishments.
So, it's only up from here and we're going to continue to keep elevating and growing from where we are right now. Like I said, the sky is the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about a moment that you guys almost gave up on each other and how you overcame that and how that has made your relationship better.
Ooh, I would say it was a situation pertaining to him. where I wanted to give up because I was like, I don't know if I could do this, or I've seen this before. So, long story short, we didn't give up. It didn't take a lot of time for me to be like, you know what, come back. Let's talk about this. Let's figure this out. Let's get on the same page. Let's, what is this? What are we? What are we? Where are we going from now? Where are we going from here? I would say that situation to where, I kind of wanted to give up on you. Yeah.
I don't even know if I should say mine.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it was something I didn't like, and I kept asking myself, you know what, I'm just going to leave. And I'm just going to leave I'm just going to leave my key here and not come back. But I didn't do it because that little voice in the back of my head saying, nigga, you're going to regret everything that you're getting ready to do, and y'all can move through it because she's moved through it with you before, so you should be able to do the same thing. So I guess I sucked up my pride and sucked up my ego, and I said, you know what, there's no point of me jeopardizing the relationship because of a mistake, because I've also made my own mistakes, and we all make mistakes. So I just sucked it up and say, hey, you know what, if this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do. Your neck ass.
How has y'all relationship changed since y'all first started dating?
A lot.
Definitely has changed a lot. We've definitely came a long way.
Yeah.
Not being able to sleep at night when we first met each other, shaking with each other. Our nerves were so bad, you would think it was an earthquake in our room. That's how bad it was. So we got over those fears. We've got over fears, anxiety. We've got over depression with each other. We got over a lot of obstacles together to where, if you had met us a couple months ago or even a couple years ago, you'd be like, these people are not
the same people.
Yeah, they're not the same people.
I can agree.
We make each other happy.
I was really skinny when I met her.
Same.
But my skinny, you can see my rib cage skinny.
Anorexic.
Yeah, I was really skinny when I met her because I wasn't really eating. I was pretty depressed. So, yeah, I was very malnourished. So now I can't go.
Your bones.
Now I can't go a day without eating 4 to 5 times a day, and I like it, but at the same time I don't, because holy shit, if I don't eat a certain amount of times a day, my stomach is talking to me, and I'm feeling nauseous and shit. I'm like, you know what, I'm happy that you feed me, but goddamn, you feed me a little bit too much. So yeah, definitely, I was really skinny, and my face was small, and now my face is fat. And I can actually fit clothes now. So, yeah, we've definitely overcame a lot of stuff. And I mean a lot.
Me on the other hand, I lost weight, gained weight.
That's because you're PCOS. We don't cut that out.
Please cut that
out. Oh my God.
So what has helped y'all stay grounded through hard times?
I think I'm going to say because I've been in harder situations before, and I'm not going to let a hard situation with my partner throw everything in this relationship off, because I've been through worse by myself before. So that's my opinion on that. So we really, and we talk to each other a lot. We express how we feel. We express what's bothering us. So we don't go to sleep angry and wake up the next day and we're looking at each other like, why the fuck am I with you? Or why are we doing this? So we always talk, and we always make sure that we tackle the issue at hand, because this, like I said, till death do us part.
I would say keeping positive energy, because when you keep positive energy, it erases all of the negative that's been going on, because we didn't have negative energies around us. We didn't have negative things happen to try to break us up, all types of stuff. So we've definitely overcame those negative, and how do you say that? Entities.
Entities, yeah. I guess that's
I don't speak proper English sometimes, but yes, negative entities.
She's dyslexic.
But yeah, we've keeping it positive.
Yeah.
How important is communication.
That's probably the most important thing in a relationship is communicating, because if something's bothering you and you do not communicate with your partner about it, your partner will never know. And if you are like especially me, like how I was at one point, I used to not, if something was bothering me, I would just not say anything just because of what I have been through. And whenever you bring up an opinion to certain people, and this is not everybody because not everybody is the same, when you bring up certain situations to people and it bothers you and it might not mean something to that person, it's going to probably start an argument. And me, I'm not an argumentative person at all. So a lot of the times I used to just leave stuff alone and just let it eat me up from the inside. But now that I'm with my wife, I know that I can express how I'm feeling, and it's not, yeah, we might argue a little bit, but I'm not throwing stuff around the house, or she's not putting hands on me and stuff like that. You know, it might be a mini argument, but it always gets resolved.
Yeah, communication is very important. I've even, as he was saying, I opened him up to that because I've got to see that side of him where he didn't want to talk about anything. And I'm like, you're about to talk to me. I can't do this. We need to talk because communication is just very important. It's very important.
I think is the number one thing in a relationship is communication.
And I'm very stern on communication because I feel like if you don't have communication, how are y'all, even supposed to work out? How are y'all even supposed to, be together,
Yes.
If you don't know what's going on, it's really what's up. So,
What do you guys do to keep you guys' friendship between each other
alive.
Why'd you say alive?
Because I heard alive.
I mean, we're best friends at the end of the day. So, like, we joke, we laugh, we're goofy as hell. Even if I'm mad about something, she's messing with me. If she's mad about something, I'm messing with her. So I think it's really, I think it's key. Like, what I tell a lot of people that are getting into relationships or thinking about getting into relationships, be friends first and then turn into best friends. And then if y'all are good best friends, then it can work out between y'all. So, like, we really have a big best friend mentality in our relationship. So, also, even with going on dates and, doing stuff, we don't get to do it as much now as we did at one point because, we have a lot more responsibilities now. Mm-hmm. But you still have to make it a priority to go out and have fun, go out and have dates, even if you're going to an arcade.
Keep the relationship alive.
Yeah, because...
And squaring up with each other.
Yeah, because people tend to say that relationships get boring, but you have to keep stuff spicy. That's just like saying, oh, I have my person now. There's no point of me chasing them no more. You always got to chase your partner.
Yeah.
Always chase your partner and make them feel like how you felt in the beginning of a relationship. It's not as hard as what some people make it feel like. It's not, I promise
just
you.
Don't lose the spark. Don't lose the spark.
Yeah. And it's not hard to not lose a spark. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, dates, arcade days, movie nights, all that stuff, And I'm grateful for our couple friends that we have because we get to see stuff from them and they get to see stuff from us. And it's just like, hey, we don't really do this. Let's do this, or vice versa for them, So I'm grateful for those people too because it really does, give you different aspects on different relationships and, what some certain people might do to just, keep their spark going.
How do you guys handle personal growth while still growing as a couple? No longer as a couple, right? As husband and wife.
Therapy. I believe in therapy as far as personal growth because you still... I know I still have some growing to do, and I know that he still has some growing to do. So I feel like being married or even being in a relationship, you also have to worry about, your mental health, who you are, and, just focusing on yourself as well. Like, never lose yourself. Continue to, work on yourself as you're, in a relationship or if you're married and stuff. Because I feel like if you don't, that's how things could get, off track with the relationship.
I think it's the hardest thing, at least for us right now, because even though we have helped each other grow, we are on completely different paths of growing right now. So I think that might be the hardest part of being in a relationship. That's one of the hardest parts of being in a relationship is trying to grow from different standpoints together because one person could be here and the other could be here. And now this person might have to come down here and try to grab you. And now they're bringing their self back down when all you want for each other is to keep leveling up. And it's supposed to be like this every time, you know. Even if one's right here and one gets here, you're growing. So I think that's the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
What role does God play in you guys' relationship?
What do you say?
God is huge in
God.
Yeah, it's you have to have.
I'm sorry I'm talking.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. I said, I was like, who's a God?
Yeah, the question is, what role does faith/spirituality? But I just put God.
Okay.
I mean, it's really big,
It's huge. Prayer.
And I'm not really the biggest religious person, but it's very big on you have to have that faith. If it's God, Allah, whoever it is that you have your faith in, you have to have that faith in order for y'all to work out and continue to keep working out. If you want good things to happen for you, you have to keep your faith because without faith, there's nothing.
Yeah, like we pray every day. We pray with each other or we pray with our family. Prayer is very important in a relationship, even if you're single. Okay, prayer is very important. Keeping faith in God, like you said, Allah, whoever, making sure that you keep faith in prayer all the time.
For sure.
Very spiritual.
What advice do you guys have for struggling couples?
Struggling couples, I would say if you're struggling with something, number one, communicate that. So y'all can figure out what it is that y'all are struggling with. So whether or not you can deal with this or you can't deal with it. I feel like that's very important because you gotta see what it is that y'all are struggling with to see if y'all can move forward or past it. Whether it's staying together or not being together.
I think
sometimes taking that time out, to
see. I don't believe in time off and breaks and shit like that.
It depends. It all depends on how long y'all been together. Like if y'all been together for a while, of course, I don't believe in that either. But like if it's awesome,
if y'all are asking about taking breaks, you might as well break up. That's how I feel about it, at least, because ain't no breaks going on around here. I wish.
Well, I believe that sometimes people jump into stuff, and sometimes they need to step back and be like, "Hey, you know what I mean? Let me take a little bit of time out to get myself together." Because some people can't do that while being together.
That's true.
So it all depends.
I just feel like if you're struggling, like you were saying, it could just be a you problem, or it could be that other person's problem. You just never know. That's why I said what I said. Be friends first, turn into best friends, so y'all can learn more about each other before y'all hop into something that you could be in for 7, 8, 9 years, still not married, and now a struggle comes up and y'all are just ready to quit because y'all really don't know each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's another big relationship issue nowadays. Everybody's just very ready to quit when it gets hard. And if you love that person, you're going to work through it. But if you don't love that person, then like I said, it's a you issue at the end of the day. Struggles are going to happen. We've heard plenty of that since we've been married, since before we've been married. But you have to talk it all out. You have to.
Yep, communicate.
What do you want people to take away from this episode? This is the last question.
I'm just hoping that, I feel like for people that are either trying to get married, trying to get in relationships, or going through hardships in their relationships, I would like for y'all to take from this episode, just take everything that we've been saying, and we're trying to help the community, the relationship community, with all these things. So if you're going to take anything from this, take everything.
Yeah, take everything.
Because we're here for you guys. So you could be going through anything and everything that we've just talked about, and you might look at this episode and be like, damn, why didn't I see this, or why didn't I think of this? And why didn't I apply this to my relationship? You know, even the people that have just broken up, people that are trying to get into it. Like I said, take everything from this episode. I can't even really take one part out of this episode to say, you know, take this, take everything. Take all the knowledge you need, because that's what we're here for.
And I would also say the biggest thing, like you said, take everything from this episode, but the biggest thing, communicate.
Yeah, definitely communication is key, because closed mouths don't get fed, and nobody knows what the fuck a mom is talking about half the time. So
yeah, communicate.
We not mind readers, you know. So that's what I agree with that at the end of the day. But we appreciate you guys for clocking in with us for our first episode of the Link Up with Destiny and Tony. And there is plenty more episodes coming. We're going to have special guests.
Yep.
Not just one or two. We're going to have group special guests. All types of things that are coming. We're going to have games, questions and answers that we're going to get questions from you guys and we'll answer them. And like I said, stay tuned for the next episode and we'll catch y'all.
This is new to me and how I want to be. I can't go back to you. Now you gotta let me go. This is new to me and how I want to be. I can't go back.